Hey everybody, David Lowry with Club Fantasci. We are here at the 2016 Southern Hobby Supplies Retail Expo. Right now with me is Mr. Tony Gullotti from Arcane Wonders, and he's going to go over Royals.
So here we go. So Royals is a introductory territory control game for 2 to 5 players. It is a part of our Dice Tower Essentials line of games that Tom Vastel has brought to us that he believes are essential to every gamer's collection. Again, it's 2 to 5 players, and players are nobles or noble families that are influencing nobles throughout Europe, and with the goal of supremacy over all the different countries in Europe. So, yeah, basically, what you're doing in the game is, in a very Ticket to Ride fashion, have a draw deck with cards, and these cards are used to pay for influencing different nobles on the board. So for example, a baron, if I wanted to influence that baron, I would have to pay 2 green cards. So assuming I had the 2 cards available, I'd discard those 2 cards, put my marker denoting that I have paid influence for that. I would also at the same time put a marker way over here on the portrait of the Baron, and that happens every time you do it. But what would happen then is I would immediately gain the victory points for that country, and I could hide them, so forth. So what you're doing in the game is spending cards through a set collection to influence nobles, which generate influence for you through the countries.
Can anybody take that?
Yes, that is where intrigue cards actually come into play. It usually doesn't happen right off the territory control. There's a lot of different places to put your pieces. You're going to be grabbing the initial easy victory points probably in the beginning. As you go on, there are also country victory points, which are given to the person who has first a noble in every separate country. So if you wanted to knock out my baron, you just have to take intrigue card instead of drawing country cards one turn. And then you could use that intrigue card pay 2 green cards of your own, paying the cost of that baron to knock my influence out and to influence the baron yourself. No, what would happen is that victory point, but you have influence over that. You would also put a marker over. Now the portrait I didn't really explain. It's a victory point. It's a victory point. Only it's awarded at the end of the game. So at the end of the game, the person who has the most every portrait gets that. And the victory point is here. If there's a 2-way tie, you split it half to each player. In a case of 3 or more, it would actually be point denial. So you can have a strategy where you put people in certain places just to make sure that other people don't gain those points. So in the beginning of the game, there are also a couple other avenues of victory points. One is here. These victory points, 16, 12, and 8, are awarded to the first player has an influence marker on every single different type of. So if I've influenced a king, and the cardinal, and the cardinal, and the marshal, and the princess, and the countess, and the duke. What ends up happening is you get this victory point. The game is played in 3 different ages. So the ages are when the deck of cards runs out. You then award these victory points to the players depending on who has the most influence in the country. And then after 3 separate ages, the game tally up the victory points.
So for the retailer, who are they aiming
This game is introductory to medium weight. You have the very easily identifiable set collection part of the game that introduces the first half. Then you start introducing a little bit more strategies with the whole influence back and forth, a little bit competitiveness. Also, there's a lot of different avenues for victory, and it's territory control versus like building. So the complexity levels a step higher, but anyone who's going into introductory, broaching into the hobby, this is a great gateway type to a more Euro-styled territory control game. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's Royals. It's available now.
Yes.
Correct. From Southern Hobby, obviously, right? And
Yeah.
so, what is the age time frame?
Okay, so age we recommend 14 plus. Can be played with younger if they. We leave that to the parents, especially if they believe that their children can grasp the game adequately. And it runs about 20 minutes per age. So each age of the game takes about 20 minutes to play. You might see a skew where it takes a little bit longer to play the first stage versus the last stage. Mostly because what you're doing in the later game is you're saving up more cards and passing turns, because you don't necessarily want to be the person to make the first big move. Mm-hmm. You're kind of waiting, biding your time to see where your opponent is actually going to make their move, and then you can either try to counteract that or go elsewhere.
So obviously, besides going to Southern Hobby, you can find out more about the game at arcanewonders.com.
Correct.
And I do believe there's a Dice Towers Essentials website as well, isn't there?
Yes, there is. It's Dice Tower. It's DTEessentials.com.
Yeah, DTEessentials.com. So you can go there as well and find out about that whole line of games for your store that you can get through Southern Hobby. Tony, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back with more from the Southern Hobby Retail Expo.